hire A players for your remote agency? Of course you do. I'm going to tell you how to make it happen. Hey there. So one of the things that I help agency owners with all the time is hiring the best of the best for their agency. Now, if you're an agency owner and you're having trouble with either hiring or retaining top talent, then you may be thinking to yourself or saying out loud, Tasha, you're full of it. And I totally get that. Hiring is one of the things that is the hardest and the most time consuming, especially for newer agency owners. I'm going to give you 5 quick tips on how to hire and how to retain excellent team talent for your remote agency. Ready to go? Kicking it off, it's all about hiring proactively instead of reactively. Now, this is the key difference I made in my hiring process that made a ton of difference. So what do I mean by hiring proactively instead of reactively? Let me show you what the process often looks like for agency owners. So you wait until the very last minute, until you're already overbooked, you're already burned out or about to burn it all down. You have another person who reaches out to you, a discovery call, it goes great. And then you have that oh crap moment of, how am I going to deliver on this client's work? I don't have any more time. I'm at my bandwidth. I'm at my max, right? Or my team doesn't have any more time. My team is at my bandwidth or is at their bandwidth and at their max. Now, in both of those scenarios, your next step is to put out a hiring call and basically say, hey, I'm looking for a warm body. If you can do any of these things, you're hired. Now, does that exactly feel like the right cadence or the right way to do it? Of course not, right? So when we hire proactively instead of hiring reactively, that was reactive hiring. When we hire proactively instead, we are anticipating the need. We're looking at what is the historical data basically for when normally our busy time is. And we're not waiting for that busy time to come around. We are hiring 2 to 3 months before then so that that team member has enough time to get hired, get onboarded, understand how our company works, understand where all the SOPs are and everything. And then by the time the need is actually there, that's when they are already ready to go and they know the lay of the land. Do you see that difference and the difference that makes? So what this means for you is you are going to either wait and hire about 2 to 3 months before your anticipated need, or if it's just a matter of, you're constantly busy, you are waiting until you are about 70 to 80% capacity, either your personal capacity or your team's capacity, and then making that hire. That way, once your team is at 100% max capacity, that person has already been hired, trained, onboarded, is ready to go. Okay, ready for number 2? Number 2 is to take your time. So our hiring process, which I'm not going to go all the way into today, involves 2 applications, 1 actual call with me, so that is their interview with me, and then normally a test project as well. Now, while this may seem like a long hiring process, reason being is that we want people who are dedicated, who are going to stick around, who have the skill set, and also have the skills, the soft skills that we need in order to keep our team culture bright and wonderful and the way that we want it to be. And so we're not just looking for skill set, but we're also looking for culture fit, right? And those things, testing for those things, asking the right questions for those things are going to take more than one application where you look at the application, you see, do they know Kartra or do they know Canva or do they know WordPress? And then you hire them solely based off of their skill set. And that interview especially is also about making sure that they get whatever questions they need asked as well. When I'm doing my interview or before I do my interview, I send out an email and say, you know what, I want to make sure that this is a great fit on both sides. So I want to make sure that you're bringing your questions and make sure that I'm answering those questions just like I'll be asking some more questions of you. So taking your time in the hiring process. Now, the other thing that I will say about this process is we've got it so down pat that this process is not taking us months to hire the right person. It usually takes between 2 and 3 weeks from the start of application 1 all the way through interview and test project to find and hire that person, because we know exactly what questions we need to ask in application 1, in application 2, during the interview, what questions we want to make sure are covered on the test project. And we have a process, a standard operating procedure, if you will, in order to make this happen and make it work really, really well. Okay, last but not least, don't just hire well, onboard well. I have seen so many amazing people that are working in great agencies that leave quickly because their onboarding was not great and they don't have proper expectations. They don't understand the lay of the land. They don't understand what the goals are and what success looks like in their position for them. And so they're basically overwhelmed and they leave because they don't feel like they are completely maybe valued and or they're not completely integrated into the agency at large. That is what we don't want. We don't want to find somebody amazing and then drop the ball on onboarding and then have them leave quickly, right? So what do we do instead? When we hire that amazing person, that's the beginning of a new journey called onboarding. So our onboarding process takes about 90 days. We are walking alongside that new hire for those first 90 days to make sure that they feel supported. So some of what that means is, number one, having a team welcome packet so that they know the expectations, they know the lay of the land. Number two, have a team onboarding call with our team lead so that they actually know where things are. That team lead is going to get on a Zoom call with them, walk them through, here's how we set up Asana, here's how we set up our project plans, here's where you can find our SOPs, here's what each one of the Slack channels mean. It's the same thing as when you were working in corporate and you had your first day of work and you went into work and they were like, here's where the refrigerator is, here's where the bathroom is, right? We want to make sure that they know where everything is. Then the next thing that we're going to do is have ongoing calls with them every week to every 2 weeks for those 90 days. And those are places to check in. Those are places to make sure that they're feeling comfortable. Any questions that they need answered are answered, and that we're making sure that the work that they're doing is up to par for us. And if it's not, we're giving them feedback on an ongoing basis to make sure that they can course correct and to see and make sure that they're a great fit, as great of a fit as we thought they were for our company. So these 3 core steps combined will really help you find the right fit for your team. Now, if you're ready to kick it up a notch with your online agency, then I want you to download my 10 Impactful Team Meetings Guide. This is going to help you to really support your team in 10 different ways that you can hold team meetings that aren't just because you like meetings, but are really going to help you and your team gel together, get those questions answered, and be on the same page. Check out the link in the description for that free guide, and I can't wait to see what you do with your amazing digital team.